In the UK, Boris Johnson is focusing his efforts on the post-pandemic economy. His government is announcing an increase of billions of euros in defence spending. The Prime Minister has said the investment will boost Britain's place in the world and create new jobs. Let's find out more. Let's go to London to speak to our correspondent Tadgh Enright. Tadgh, very good morning to you. So this is definitely good news for defence when it comes to the United Kingdom, potentially not so good for other government departments. Just talk us through the details and particularly where the money's coming from.
Hi Rosie, good morning to you. Yes, you're right. It is the biggest investment in defence in more than 30 years in the UK. A top-up of 10% every year for the next 4 years in the existing defence budget. Add it all up and you've got a package worth €18 billion. Contrast that with yesterday's announcement by Boris Johnson of a Green New Deal for Britain worth €13.5 billion. And you get a sense of his priorities. And it comes at a time of unprecedented pressure on the government's finances. And yes, how will it be paid for? Well, the expectation or the fear in some circles here is that the international aid budget is going to be cut to help pay for this. Clearly, if so, it will be a demonstration of Britain choosing hard power over soft power in the future. But Boris Johnson says it is absolutely necessary to, as he put it, help the UK bolster our global influence. And he acknowledged that he was making the announcement, as he put it, in the teeth of the coronavirus pandemic. But that was because the defence of the realm, as he put it, must come first. And it is interesting, you look at the detail of the announcement that we have so far, and there's no mention of spending on traditional military hardware like tanks or aircraft. It's all about future technology. Talk of a space command capable of launching rockets in 2022, a cyber defence agency which will also be capable of cyber offence, launching attacks, cyber attacks on enemy states and on terrorist groups. Boris Johnson is going to speak about this later today, but he says that the international situation is more perilous and more intensely competitive than at any time since the Cold War, he says. And he says this is our chance to end the era of retreat.
That seems to be his motivation, but who's he trying to please in this announcement?
Well, certainly any Conservative government tends to have an inclination towards spending on defence, on the military, so he's certainly pleasing that camp too. And in the release today, they've been talking about cementing Britain's position as the biggest spender on defence in Europe and the second biggest in NATO. And certainly what one senior Conservative who happens to chair the Parliament's Defence Committee, Tobias Ellwood, suggests that this is all about ingratiating Britain with Washington, with the United States. There has, of course, been much speculation about how Boris Johnson, nicknamed in Washington as Britain Trump, will get along with President-elect Biden, someone who has talked about strengthening or resetting the Western military resolve. This could be seen as restoring Britain's status as the main ally, perhaps only the one ally that the US has in Europe that it can always count on for support. Rosie?
Thank you very much, Tadgh, our correspondent there in London.